Hello guys, so welcome to my tutorial, and I've gotten several recommendations that I should add a voiceover to my tutorial videos for the absolute beginners so they can follow up with my designs. And so I've decided to listen to you guys. So please, creating content is not very easy. It's not that easy, the creation, the editing, and everything. So please do me a favor and please subscribe, and also do yourself a favor and subscribe so you don't miss out on future tutorials, and also turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I create new videos. So guys, welcome back and let's get started. So nothing much is happening here. I'm just going to import one icon that I'll need for the design, which is the back button for my navigation. So I've already imported that. Now I use feather icons plugin. I'll leave the link to the plugin in the video description. So you just click on the description and you'll find it. You just install it from the Figma community and you use it. If you notice in all of my tutorials, I try to keep my layer clean as much as possible. So whenever you're designing, always try to name your elements, always try to group related elements together so your workspace will be neat. So what I'm doing right now, I'm adding a grid. Grids help you to keep your items properly aligned so that some things are not in the left or in the right or in the center. It keeps everything well organized and properly aligned. So you can customize the grids to your taste, but there's a recommendation by Google's Material UI design system, so you can follow that or you can customize it to your need. So before I resize the icon, I have to apply the constraint so that both the height and the width will change proportionately. Time to add some text, some auto layer text. I'll be changing the typeface to Rubik. That's my favorite font. Do you have a favorite font? And if you don't have this Rubik on your system, you can download it from. There are several fonts, platforms where you can download it from and install it to your system. So as you can see, I've added the auto layout using Shift A. Auto layouts make everything so easy on Figma. Makes your design responsive. Take for example, now if I were to change that next without a layout frame to something else, the width of the rectangle of the button will adjust accordingly, so I don't have to drag and drag and drag. So it makes everything easy. So you just tweak the design, the coloring, the width, the height to match your taste or your design specification. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm still modifying it. So I just dragged it into my frame, my onboard one frame. It was outside, but I just dragged it in now. I want to change. You saw how I accessed the text that's inside the frame. You click on the drop down on the frame and then you see everything that is inside that frame. So you just click on the element that you wish to effect and then you modify it. So I just reduce the button opacity. Now I align it to the bottom of the screen. The reason why I brought it here is because of one of the laws of the UX. You don't want to stress the user. Like if I were to put this button at the top now, it will be very stressful for the user to access the button. That's why it's preferable for you to put the skip button at the top so that they wouldn't want to skip the onboarding process. They want to learn the nice features that you have packed for them in the app. So you keep the skip button at the top of the screen so they wouldn't want to access it. They'll just want to click on the next and go to the next screen and click. And by so doing, they are going through the onboarding process and reading the features of the app. So I'll be creating a circle that will depict the onboard step, like if I'm on the first onboard screen, the second onboard screen, the third onboard screen, and so on and so forth. By the way, it's recommended that your onboard screen should never be more than five, 3 to 5, but 3 is the recommended number. But if you have plenty features, you can make it 4, you can make it 5, but it should never be more than 5. You see how I'm watching the layout guides, the guidelines, that red line. It helps you to align your items properly. Now, I've already added a grid to the frame, but these alignment guides, they also play a crucial role in the alignment of elements on the design canvas. Divine Guinea. Alright, you can duplicate by holding your Alt key and dragging. So I just, once one of the circles is highlighted, I'll hold my Alt key down and then I'll click and drag. And then after that, I can press Ctrl D and then I duplicate it as much as I want. So please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe. I spend so much time creating this content so you can learn the easy way and follow up and get to do your tasks. So please, if you've not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. I see a lot of people are watching the videos, but so few have subscribed. Please, let's try and get me to 500 subscribers. Can we do that, please? Thank you very, very much. Please, thank you. I love you. So please subscribe, all right? Thank you. So I just duplicated the text that is inside the button. The next, I just duplicated it. The same method. Hold down your Alt key and drag it out. I'm going to be changing it to skip. So instead of typing a new document altogether, I'll just bring it out and change the color, change the content, and that's it. On Figma, you're going to be duplicating a lot. So you know what will happen? I'll be posting a tutorial on how to work faster on Figma. So you don't have to be going. If you notice, I barely go to the menu option. And the reason why I even do that is because I know there are so many beginners that are watching this tutorial right now. So I just want everyone to follow along. But if I were designing like my own personal projects, I don't use the menu. There are so many shortcut keys that can help make your design process faster and smoother. But if I were using that method now, you probably wouldn't understand and I'll be leaving lots and lots of captions. That's why sometimes it's inevitable for me to go to the menu option. But there are so many shortcut keys that can help make your design process faster and more productive. So what you have to do, just subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so that once I post it, you'll be notified that I've posted a new video. I'll be posting a tutorial on how to work faster and more productively on Figma. So you don't want to miss that. Now the reason why I lock the ratio is so that if I increase the height, the width won't stay constant. If the constraint proportions are locked, when you are increasing the height, the width will also increase by an equal amount. Now alignment is very important. I can't stress this enough. Very, very important. You see how your eyes and your hands and your legs are properly aligned. If they are not aligned, they will be very disturbing to the user and they will not want to come back to your app or to your website. So make sure you properly align your items using your layout grids as well as your guidelines. You can also duplicate using Ctrl D. So if you don't want to use the Alt and drag, you can as well just Ctrl D and the element that is currently highlighted will be duplicated. You see the way I'm creating hierarchy between the onboarding header and the onboarding message. There has to be a difference that this is more important than this, which is the header. So if you take a look at the screen now, the very first thing that the person will see is the onboarding header message, which is M verified certificates. It has higher hierarchy than the onboarding message. So the onboarding header has a higher hierarchy than the onboarding message. Time to create the page indicator. It's usually at the bottom center of your screen. So this is how you create it. You just draw a simple line, change the line type to round, add some stroke, and depending on whether you are designing for light mode or dark mode. If you are designing for a light mode, the color is usually black. If you are designing for dark mode, the color is usually white. Next, I will import my illustrations. The illustrations are gotten from story sets. I downloaded the illustrations from story sets. I'll leave a link to the website where I got the illustration in the video description. So if you want to download illustrations, I'll highly recommend story sets. So you just click on the video description and click on the link. You'll find it there. Remember, there's a difference between resize and scale. If you don't want your image to lose quality or dimensions, you have to scale it when you want to reduce it. You have to scale it, not resize. You have to scale it. So you can scale an item by hitting key on your keyboard and then dragging on either of the edges. Align to center, take it up using shift and button up. If you look at your keyboards, you see top, left, right, and bottom. So those are your navigation keys. If you were to be using just those keys, it will take very long time for you to move your items around. But when you hold shift and you press it, the items move farther. So I just duplicated the onboard one, and you see Figma is very intelligent, so it just renamed the onboard one to onboard two for me, making everything a whole lot easier. I don't have to go ahead and click on frame and bring in another frame and rename the frame. No, 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 you don't have to do that. Just click on the first frame and Ctrl D to duplicate. And then all you have to do is just to change the content of the screen. such as the onboard header, the onboard message, the illustration, and if at all, the buttons that are available on the screen. Hi, have you subscribed yet? What are you waiting for now? Hit the subscribe button. It's free and it won't take you a second. And if you don't want to miss out on future tutorials, you really want to do it. Trust me. Because I have a lot of tutorials packed up. So just click on the subscribe button. Thank you very much. You see how I don't have to think what I'm going to write. You see how I just do everything once. That's because before you start designing, if you remember the beginning of the video where I wrote pre-design checklist. Before you start designing, before you even come to Figma, if you have an idea of everything, what you are designing for, the features, what you want the app to have, if it's a website, what you want the website to have, all the features, the navigations, everything, you should have everything all planned out. That's part of UX before you even go into UI. So UX, you have to draft out everything, write out everything, get your illustrations, the layout of the app, how the app will look like. So you don't come here and then you start thinking, oh, okay, where do I put this one? Okay, this one, should I put this one here? No, you don't do that. If you have everything all planned out, your design process will be very fast and very swift. So you don't have to come here and then be thinking, okay, what am I going to write here now? You write one thing, delete. Even if you have to do that, because design is iterative, it's not linear. You change things, you understand? But it will just make the whole process a whole lot easier. If you be changing everything order, if you be deviating from what you have written down earlier, it will just be few words, few phrases, and not everything all over again. So always try to draft out a layout of your design process before you even begin or before you even open Figma. Otherwise, when you come on Figma, your data will just be on and your data will just be getting burnt while you are here brainstorming. That's not how it works. You are supposed to brainstorm before you think of designing. So right now I'm going to be creating a custom canvas. Now, I noticed that so many of you, once this happens like this, you get scared and you run about crying. No, your designs are not lost. Your frames is simply behind the object that you just drew. So you just have to do is just bring them to front. And there are two ways you can do it. If the object you want to bring to front, you highlight the objects and then you click on this open square bracket, the close square bracket on your key, on your keyboard, and then the item you brought to front. Either that or you right click on the design and then you see bring to front in the options and then you just click on it. And if you notice my layer section, it's very clean. There are just two items there. That's because there are stacks of groups, group upon group upon group upon group. You group as many related elements as possible so that your layer will be very, very clean. This is just an onboard screen. So you don't want to have 5, 10, 15 items here. This is just an onboard screen. By the time you start designing full app, the complete app, the complete website, if you don't group items together, it will be very, very stressful for you because you can have, if it's a complete app, you can have up to 50, 70, 100 screens, 200 screens for just one app. Now imagine if one of the screen has 150 elements, it will be very hard for you to navigate through. But when you group similar elements, it will be very easy for you to jump from one section to another section, from one page to another page. So always try to group your elements as much as possible. And you don't just group them. When you group them, name them so that you know that yes, this group is this group is this. Ensure you give them relevant names. You don't name an onboard screen sign up, or you don't name a sign up page payment. So give your groups relevant names. It will really help in your design career. Oh my god, I'm so tired. You guys asked for a voiceover. I'm not sure if I want to do this again. I am so tired, it's so exhausting. But it's fun anyway. So if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. I'm doing a lot for you. Am I not? Consider subscribing, please. Let's get into 500 subscribers before Monday. Can we do that? 500 subscribers. You just come online, you hit subscribe, you ask your friend, oh, please subscribe to my friend's YouTube channel, and that's it. So thank you very much. See you guys again in the next tutorial. Bye.